Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to the second part of Lesson 18 of Book 1. We will continue practicing with duals in this episode. But before that, let's learn how to use the word KAM in Arabic. KAM means how many. It is ISMU-LISTIFHAAM and interrogative ism, similar to man, ماذا, متى, and أين that we learned before. For example, كم كتابا على المكتب? I'm asking how many books are on the desk. كم كتابا على المكتب? Notice the case of the ism كتابا here that is coming after the word كم. كتابا is ending with tanween fatha, indicating that it is nakirah and mansub. If you don't remember the mansub case of the ism, please check out our video for Lesson 4 and Part 2, where we introduce all three cases of the ism. We call this ism that is coming right after kam TAMYIYZ. TAMYIYZ is the MANSUWB and NAKIROH ism that is used to specify what is coming before it. It is used to eliminate the vagueness in the meaning. As in this example, in KAM كتابا, كتابا is helping KAM to specify what it is referring to. In other words, if we said KAM على المكتب, how many are on the desk, we would not know what is specifically being asked about. The question may be about the books, or pens, or rulers, and whatnot. Then TAMYIYZ comes in to help us understand what KAM, how many, is denoting. So the two apparent signs of TAMYIYZ are that it comes as MANSUWB and NAKIROH in a sentence. Once again, كم كتابا على المكتب means how many books are on the desk. Let's answer this question now. We can see a single book on the desk, so we will respond by saying على المكتب كتاب واحد. A single book is on the desk. على المكتب كتاب واحد. How about now? كم كتابا على المكتب الآن? Remember, الآن means now. So I'm asking how many books are on the desk now. We can respond by saying على المكتب الآن كتابان. Two books are on the desk. على المكتب الآن كتابان. كم قلما على المكتب? How many pens are on the desk? How would you respond to this question? We would say على المكتب قلم واحد. A single pen is on the desk. على المكتب قلم واحد. كم قلما على المكتب الآن? How many pens are on the desk now? What would be your answer this time? على المكتب الآن قلمان. Two pens are on the desk. على المكتب الآن قلمان. Very good. One more important thing I would like to note here is that the ism coming after KAM is al-mufrad, singular, even though we are using plural words in translation. In other words, we should not say كم أقلاما على المكتب, but instead we should say كم قلما على المكتب, using the mufrad mansub wa nakira ism قلما. Let's see one more example. كم ساعة على السرير? How many watches are on the bed? كم ساعة على السرير؟ على السرير ساعة واحدة. A single watch is on the bed. كم ساعة على السرير الآن؟ على السرير الآن ساعتان. Very good. Now we are ready to go over exercise 3 on page 102. Here we are going to learn how to ask questions using the ISMU-LISTIFHAAM KAM. Let's take a look at the examples. كم أختا لك? How many sisters do you have? كم أختا لك? كم قلما عندك? How many pens do you have? كم سيارة في الجامعة? How many cars are in the university? We said the ism coming after KAM is MANSUWB and NAKIROH because it is functioning as TAMYIYZ. Notice the NAKIROH ism in MANSUWB case takes alif in writing even though it is not pronounced. But if the ism ends with ta marbuta, it does not need an extra alif. Try to keep this spelling rule in mind when coming up with answers to this exercise, okay? Now we need to come up with suitable tamis for each sentence. Sentence 1. كم عندك? What would be the right tamis for this blank? Let's use كتابا. كم كتابا عندك? How many books do you have? Sentence 2. كم لك? Remember, with لك, we can use relationships like أخ or عمًا or خالًا. Let's use أخ in this blank. كم أخ لك? How many brothers do you have? Sentence 3. كم في هذا الشارع? How many on this street? Let's say how many hotels are on this street. How do you ask that? كم فندقا في هذه الشارع? For the remaining sentences, I will give you a few seconds to attempt on your own. I will also show you the translation of what I am about to use in the blank to give you a hint. The tamiz you pick do not have to match with mine, but try to make sure that the ism is nakirah, mansub, and al-mufrad, singular, okay? Sentence 4. كم مسجدا في قريتك? How many masjids are in your village? كم مسجدا في قريتك? Sentence 5. كم طالبا في فصلكم? How many students are in your class? كم طالبا في فصلكم? Sentence 6. كم شهرا في السنة? How many months are in the year? كم شهرا في السنة؟ Sentence 7. كم عجلة للدراجة? How many wheels does the bicycle have? كم عجلة للدراجة؟ Sentence 8. كم كرسيا في غرفتك? How many chairs are in your room? كم كرسيا في غرفتك؟ Very good. That was the end of this exercise. Now we will go back a page to page 101 and go over exercise 1. In this exercise, we have 11 questions given using the ISMU-LISTIFHAAM KAM. We need to answer these questions using AL-MUTHANNAA, the dual only. The first question is, كم قلما عندك? How many pens do you have? In response, we should say, عندي قلمان. I have 2 pens. عندي قلمان. Sentence 2. كم كتابا عندك? How many books do you have? How do we say I have 2 books? عندي كتابان. عندي كتابان. Question 3. كم سبورة في فصلكم? How many blackboards are in your classroom? How would you respond to this question? It should be في فصلنا سبورتان. 2 blackboards are in our classroom. في فصلنا سبورتان. Question 4. كم ريالا عندك الآن يا ليلى? How many reals do you have right now, O Layla? The word riyal is the currency of Saudi Arabia. Layla should say, I have 2 riyals. What would be her response in Arabic? عندي ريالان. Question 5. كم أختا لك يا علي? How many sisters do you have, O Ali? Ali's response should be لي أختان. I have 2 sisters. لي أختان. Question 6. كم عما لك يا آمنة? How many paternal uncles do you have, O Amina? How do we say I have 2 uncles? It should be لي عماني. Question 7. كم صديقا لك يا محمد? How many friends do you have, O Muhammad? What would be his answer? لي صديقان. I have 2 friends. لي صديقان. Very good. Question 8. كم طالبا جديدا في فصلكم? How many new students are there in your class? Notice here, طالبا جديدا is منعوت و نعت combination. That is why the na'at is also mansub following the case of man'ut. Now, how do you respond to this question? في فصلنا طالبان جديدان. 2 new students are in our class. في فصلنا طالبان جديدان. Now take a look at the منعوت and نعت pair in the response. This time both of them are dual as we expect because منعوت and نعت should also match in count. Question 9. كم مسجدا في قريتك يا زكريا? How many masjids are in your village, O Zakaria? The answer should be في قريتنا مسجدان. 2 masjids are in our village. Question 10. كم فندقا في هذا الشارع? How many hotels are on this street? كم فندقا في هذا الشارع? What would be your response? في هذا الشارع فندقان. 2 hotels are on this street. Or in short, we could say فيه فندقان. 2 hotels are on it. فيه فندقان. Question 11. كم أخ لك يا سعاد? How many brothers do you have, O Su'ad? How can she say, I have 2 brothers? She should respond by saying, لي أخواني. I have 2 brothers. لي أخواني. Let's keep in mind that in مثنى form of أخ, an extra letter واو appears before the ani suffix in أخواني. So أخ becomes أخواني in مثنى, not أخاني. Very good. That's it with this exercise. We will finish the episode here and come back to continue going over the exercises of the lesson next time, inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum.